Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundlesssuccess to join today. Let's get you to the next level. We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth. The House passes a budget. Ukraine comes to the negotiating table. Trade wars heat up, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The Republican-led House voted Tuesday to pass a 6-month funding bill that would prevent a government shutdown at the end of the week, overcoming fierce Democratic objections. The vote was 217 to 213, with all Republicans except Thomas Massie of Kentucky supporting the legislation. One Democrat, Jared Golden of Maine, voted for it. The measure now heads to the Senate, where its fate is uncertain. Republicans control 53 seats. That means at least 8 Democratic senators would have to support the bill to cross the Senate's 60-vote threshold and send it to President Trump's desk. Democrats have said they oppose the bill, which holds spending at its current levels. The government is set to run out of money late Friday. Ukraine has agreed to a U.S.-brokered 30-day ceasefire proposal, contingent on Russia's acceptance following high-level peace talks in Saudi Arabia. As part of the deal, the U.S. will immediately resume military aid and intelligence sharing, which the White House froze after the contentious Oval Office meeting less than 2 weeks ago. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, said Zelensky also sent Trump a letter of apology after that meeting and called the apology an important step towards rebuilding trust. U.S. officials say the ball is now in Russia's court, but Russian officials seem to signal upcoming rejection of the agreement, expressing skepticism about U.S. intentions. Israel and Lebanon have agreed to start negotiations on disputes over the land border between them, officials said on Tuesday, offering a possible opportunity to resolve disagreements that have contributed to decades of tensions and conflict. In a statement, Morgan Ortagus, President Trump's deputy Middle East envoy, said that the United States was bringing Israel and Lebanon together to discuss the demarcation of the border. She said discussions would also focus on the future of 5 Israeli military outposts in Lebanon and of Lebanese prisoners still held in Israel after a ceasefire deal last year largely halted more than a year of cross-border warfare. Ontario backed off plans to put a 25% electricity surcharge on nearby U.S. states Tuesday after President Trump said he would raise tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum to 50% in retaliation. While the additional tariff was scrapped, a 25% duty on Canadian metals will still take effect today. The move followed days of escalating trade tensions between the two countries. U.S. and Canadian officials are expected to continue trade negotiations in the coming days. The 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports, not just Canadian, went into effect today after the U.S. and Canada backed off the threats to impose additional measures. The European Union announced retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. early on Wednesday, Its levies will take effect at the beginning of April and target a range of U.S. products, including bourbon, whiskey, boats, and motorcycles, the EU said. A second set is due in mid-April and will come after the bloc has consulted with EU countries and stakeholders. The EU tariffs are in response to the steel and aluminum tariffs. A senior official at USAID instructed a number of the agency's remaining staff to convene at the agency's now former headquarters in Washington on Tuesday for an all-day group effort to destroy documents stored there, many of which contain sensitive information. The materials earmarked for destruction include contents of the agency's classified sales and personnel documents at the Ronald Reagan Building, said an email sent by USAID's acting executive director, Erica Carr, and obtained by Politico. Shred as many documents first and reserve the burn bags for when the shredder becomes unavailable or needs a break, the email said. Carr instructed staff to label the burn bags with the words secret and USAID/B/IO/ agency shorthand for Bureau of Independent Office in dark Sharpie. The act raises the question of what USAID is trying to hide. Department of Education staff received reduction in force notices Tuesday before nearly half of the department's workforce is terminated. A memo was sent to all Education Department employees informing them that Department of Education offices will be closed Tuesday evening through Wednesday due to security reasons. Employees were instructed to leave the offices by 6 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. Today's reduction in force reflects the Department of Education's commitment to efficiency, accountability, and ensuring that resources are directed where they matter most, to students, parents, and teachers, Education Secretary Linda McMahon said in a statement. McMahon called the move a significant step towards restoring the greatness of the American education system. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is pausing funding to the University of Maine system, a network of 8 public colleges in the state, according to UMS officials. The pause is in response to the state's recent refusal to comply with President Trump's executive order to keep transgender athletes out of women's sports. The pause in funding comes as the USDA reviews potential Title IX and Title VI violations by the universities amid the state's recent refusal to comply with the order. Trump reaffirmed his intent to punish states that continue to allow trans athletes to compete with girls during his March 4th address to a joint session of Congress. Trump's administration has now acted on that promise. The Mississippi House of Representatives passed a bill banning cultivated meat. This makes Mississippi the 3rd state to outlaw meat grown in vats from small samples of animal cells. The Mississippi bill will make it illegal for anyone to manufacture, sell, or distribute cultivated meat in the state. Violating the law would be a misdemeanor punishable by a fine of no more than $500 and or up to 3 months in county jail. Similar laws passed last year in Florida and Alabama also carry potential jail terms or fines of up to $500. Numerous states are exploring passing similar bills. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.